Are now housed. My caseload is about 2,700 individuals, and anywhere from 40 to 50% have used this kush. What I am finding is it is very, very hard for them to even know that they're even incarcerated. Just today, a young man came in and he didn't even realize he was in jail. He didn't know what jail was. On a daily basis, we have inmates that are flopping like fish, having multiple seizures. From what I am seeing with the rehabilitation process, and I have our substance abuse counselor here with me today that works along with the program.
Thank you. Your time has expired. Thank you.
Favoring the post. Oh, I'm sorry. No.
Motion to extend.
No. I meant the first speaker. I had ahead of myself. So, short version is we need to stop it if we can.
Like immediately, it's very dangerous, very lethal.
Councilor Boyd.
Thank you, Ms. Griffin, for your testimony. You're an expert, and we know, because you're committed. No, really, you're committed to trying to rehab and just turn people's lives around. What would you like to see us do as a city?
Ban it. It is more lethal than a bullet. And it is taking our children, it is killing the future, it is destroying those who already were hurt people, hurt other people, and it is almost making the rehabilitation world come to a standstill because you can't rehabilitate anybody that has no consciousness, that cannot understand, cannot comprehend, and they are unteachable, untrainable, and unrepairable because of this drastic killer. It's a killer. And if anybody here wants to see an example, those children that sit across the street at the public library every day, that's what they smoke every day, sitting on those little brick walls. That's what they're smoking is kush. So you can walk straight out of City Hall and see it every day.
Now I need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Favoring opposed, motion carries. Well, they can't smoke while they're sitting there, at least have to walk out on the sidewalk. But Councilmember Gordon, Councilmember Green.
Thank you, Mayor. Kathy, thank you so much for all you do around the cities, especially what you do in District K, all the work you do with State Representative Allen and others. I appreciate it. Talk to me a little bit about, you're saying that, are you saying that after smoking this, there's neurological damage, and so it's like you can't go to rehab for this, the damage is kind of done? Is that what you're saying?
They can go, but actually trying to communicate with someone who has been smoking kush, which is 1 trillion to me times more addictive than anything. I mean, it just overpowered crack. It is overpowered heroin. And because, let me tell you, it does not show up a dirty UA. So drug addicts are always trying to beat UAs. And so we'll do this, and they can't catch us. And it's been connected to cannabis, but it is not. It doesn't have any marijuana in it. So it's a false conception that's out there, and people think, okay, well, I'm really smoking weed, so they've psyched themselves out and they've fallen victim of their own con game, and it's killing them.
Thank you for all your work.
Thank you.
Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Favoring opposed, motion carries. Mayor Pro Tem resolved.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here to represent us at the Harris County Jail and the communities, recognizing Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and you've been in the forefront working with women and others all throughout the city. The scary part about this is beyond just being potent and dangerous and the harm that it's bringing is that it's so easily accessible at local convenience stores where they just walk in and get it. So I think we need to obviously be doing more. Thank you for your testimony here today, and thank you for all you do.
And it does say not from human consumption on the package, right?
Councilmember Bradford.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Kathy, for your work as always. You mentioned that it causes one to lose their consciousness, and that you didn't think that you could rehabilitate that person. So what's the impact of imposing a fine on them if we were to do that? Certainly they're not in positions to pay a fine, so this is just a tool that the city can use to implement rehabilitation type efforts. Where do we go with this point? I mean, you have broad experience here.
I'm sorry, I'm always sorry, Chief. First of all, the reason why they smoke it is because it's cheaper than anything, so they're not going to be able to pay for a fine if they're they're on this imaginary welfare budget to smoke kush. And like I said, it doesn't show up in their UAs. So that's just wasted paperwork and effort, because they're not going to have the money to pay for it, and they're not going to even realize it's time to show up for court to pay it.
So we don't catch them in the analysis. Motion second.
Favor opposed, motion carries.
What do you suggest we do with it? Because now we're going to have, it's highly likely that the ordinance will pass tomorrow. I certainly support it. But we don't want, officers just to arrest all these people who are inebriated. Into your point, they are simply at a point where they've lost sense of judgment and consciousness. What do we do with them? I mean,
There are some, depending on how much damage neurologically that has been done, that we've been able over time by abstinence. I mean, even the ones that I have that are incarcerated, and when they leave Harris County, my program, they go down to, I have 2 separate dorms in Plain State, where I have them there long enough to at least work with them so I can start bringing some of these skills, if I can, back. Those that, and there are those that it just does not seem to come back, but there have been some that show signs of coming back from the abstinence. And then when they leave prison, of course, I place them in facilities. So it takes long-term rehabilitation to get some of these individuals back.
well, thank you for what you do in your program, and I think this is another good tool for law enforcement to have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there a motion to extend?